So this is Police Quest SWAT 2, I believe released in 1998, and yep, this one's a pretty good game. That's right, this one had K9 units way before Call of Duty. So this is kind of a police SWAT simulator, and you also have the option to play as the bad guys. So let's start out with the police units. Now the first thing is, it gives its characters a portrait and a backstory, which kind of helps distinguishing them as individuals. And there's no handsome movie stars. I mean, look at this guy. Captain, which way do you hold the gun? Yes, sir, you knucklehead. You're on desk duty. I draw the pictures with crayons. Now you can train units to be better with certain weapons or learn how to use first aid kits, K9 units, but that requires training, which will take the officers out of a scenario. You can also equip your officers with mirrors to help them peek around corners, gas grenade guns, which it's wise to wear a gas mask, and battering rams to knock down doors. On each mission you can recruit squads that you can name. The more squads you put into a mission, the more money it's going to cost, and sometimes a lot of cops just aren't the solution to beating a level efficiently. Now in missions, at any time you can change the game speed, which is good when you need some time to get your strategy set up. Now as a SWAT team, you just can't go around blowing everyone away. To get the best score and funding for your department, you have to watch out for civilians, try to negotiate with the bad guys. However, I ran into some problems. You sometimes have to use a throw phone for negotiations, but I could never figure out when to throw the phone. In this bank robbery level, for example, I see a bad guy with a gun and I don't want to lose any of my officers, so I start shooting. I mean, should have I held my fire and threw the phone or risk getting shot at? I just wasn't sure. Bad guys have hostages, they have booby traps, and you can't tell sometimes who's the bad guy and who needs to be rescued. And the situation of the game could just change instantly. I mean, this game is really good. And the squad makeup and weapons are very different from the bad guys, which makes this an almost a 2-in-1 game. Now, the bad guys in the game are some sort of environmentalist cult, so you can choose from your characters such as Santa Claus, guy who looks like everybody's plumber, LL Cool J, Weird Al, and Ron Jeremy. The backstory of why some of these people join the cult is sometimes interesting, usually about the man screwing them over in some way, but in the case of Sylvia Manson here, she's an ex-military officer who was just bored with her homemaker life. The bad guys play very differently from the SWAT, having inferior weapons and less squad members, but since they have no protocol, it kind of balances. Well, kind of. I mean, in this mission, I had 3 bad guys fighting off 17 SWAT. I kept dying, so I tried the level with a massive army of guys. But in the end, the numbers really didn't matter. It was just the luck of the shot determined my success. Bad guy scenarios are pretty fascinating, too, like burning evidence of an illegal growing crop, a member's daughter is hurt and you have to take a doctor hostage to heal her, kidnapping a polluting oil tycoon, just really interesting missions. By giving the player the ability to play as both the good guys and the bad guys' perspective was fairly neat to see. That wasn't very common in games in the 1990s. Well, there you have it, SWAT 2. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you again. Yes, sir, you knucklehead. You're on desk duty.